country we love. Say no. We want to send a message to any wannabe dictator, any elected, unelected, ignorant billionaire, and other greedy and selfish millionaires who think they own our money, our votes, our bodies, our civil rights. We are here to say hands off.
Thank you all so much for being here. I want to take a couple moments to talk to you all about freedom and privacy. Yes. Our freedom is not something that is given to us, it's something that we must work for. There are mechanisms to our freedom. Mechanisms like possibility and ambition, working for the common good, mutual reliance on one another, and privacy. I was raised in a Vermont that values privacy. We love being outdoors in the woods, playing and frolicking where no one can bother us. We still have our rights and we must continue to fight for them. Freedom is hard work and is hard won. They may come into our state house, they may come into my committee and tell me that we can't protect ourselves. They might come into our state house and come into my committee and say that this will harm, any protections will harm their business. But what I say is that we're from Vermont and we do what we want.
So this is Becca's statement.
Hang on there.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah, real close to your mouth.
Thank you so much for turning out today. It matters. It really does.
It does.
In this moment, we desperately need to come together and find our courage. And we must ignite that courage in others. That's what we do when we come together like this. We find our bravery. And as others see that bravery, they feel they can do a little more or can speak up a little more.
Yes.
And have challenging conversations and move people to action. When we do this, we all see a little more light, where before we felt anxiety and despair. And I know, from speaking with Vermonters and Americans across this country, people are tired. They're overwhelmed, they're scared, and they feel powerless. And sometimes they tell me they feel paralyzed. So how do we move beyond this feeling? How do we get focused? How do we stay energized? We get our energy from each other, from our collective action and voices. Find your courage, find your voice, and know that in these moments of courageousness and bravery, I am standing with you and trying to do that exact same thing down here in Washington. Do what you can, when you can, show up, give each other grace. All of us here today, we are the energy. We are the movement. We will fight back the darkness together.
Yes!
In a January issue of the Star-Ledger newspaper, Christian Zabrinsky, the director of the Newark, New Jersey Public Library, championed libraries as the place in our society where a heart surgeon and a toddler get the same services, the same dignity, no matter what they are exploring. And while libraries still do treasure books and their readers, library services have expanded to so many different areas, all in an effort to help communities and their members. This past week, the Institute of Museum and Library Sciences, the only federally funded agency that funds libraries, was shut down and defunded. The staff members were first placed on administrative leave, and then they were told that they would be officially dismissed from their jobs in May. In a statement, the American Library Association called this action an assault on libraries. I would go even further and say that this is an attack on the American people.
Yeah.
Yes. Visit your local library, let them know that you support them. And do not let them take away your freedom to speak, your freedom to think, and your freedom to read.
Yes!
Thank you.
But today, I am speaking first and foremost as a military mom. My daughter, a nurse, is currently deployed in the Middle East alongside many other Americans' sons and daughters. What's happening to our military under this administration is dangerous, disrespectful, and a complete disgrace.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's start with the VA.
Yes.
The Veterans Administration, after years of being understaffed, finally had the resources and staffing to begin implementing the PACT Act and care for veterans exposed to burn pits and toxic substances.
Yes.
And now, the VA is cutting over 80,000 positions. 80,000! While we continue to send troops into unstable regions, this administration is bringing home qualified, trained, committed service members because of their gender identity.
Right.
A recent Pentagon memo gave transgender service members just 30 days before separation proceedings begin. These are Americans who passed every requirement and served with distinction. And we're sending them home. Why? Because they are transgender. That is discrimination, plain and simple. It weakens our military and it makes us all less safe. I am so sorry to say we are in trouble, my friends, and it's going to take all of us. This is what we are going to have to do. We are going to have to stand up, come together, and we are going to have to fight. And I will be with you every step of the way. Thank you.
This is One Health. This is One Health. Human health, animal health, the environment. That's what forms One Health. And all the things that contribute to it are now being eroded and under fire. I'm just going to give you a few examples in these few minutes. The Department of Health and Human Services has been decimated. Over 10,000 people have been laid off. The communications departments in all the 12 agencies of HHS eliminated. They're the ones that would have been telling you what's going on. NIH, so central to research in America and around the world. Biomedical research, medical treatments, vaccine research, all slashed. And so now, USAID, thank you. We wanted to end with it because it is our face, our voice, and our spirit in the world, helping people with their health to keep from exchanging and spreading our diseases as theirs, but most importantly, connecting us in the One Health world together. So as we pull out of the UN, we've ended our relationship with WHO. Let us be reminded that this cold rain will turn to the sunshine of the spring, and together we will bring One Health to Vermont, to our community, and to ourselves and the world. Thank you.
Hello, Deerfield Valley. As Karen said, my name is Julie Muller, and I am with all of you to loudly and clearly proclaim, hands off. And as Karen said, I stand here to say hands off LGBTQ plus rights. My Vermont, my home state, the first state that gave same-sex couples the same rights as straight couples with the civil union in 2000. Thank you to our good friend Bob Rustin, who voted in support of that and attended Chris and my civil union back then. The third state to grant full marriage equality in 2009. I remember crying, sitting at my desk, and Ann Manwaring and her colleagues in the Vermont Senate and the House, they cast enough votes to overturn the veto of our then Republican Governor, Jim Douglas. And today I ask, if you are not already doing so, to step up for the members of the LGBTQ+ community like me and so many of our neighbors. The attacks on anything considered DEI is literally trying to erase our identities. In schools, in museums, on federal websites, in libraries. I'm concerned for all of us in the LGBTQ+ community, but I'll be honest, the group I fear for most is our transgender folks. To strip them of their rights, to vilify them in public, and to marginalize a group that is the most marginalized and vulnerable in this country. Federal documentation like passports going forward will be required to show the sex assigned at birth. This will automatically put our trans folks in danger while they're traveling, preventing gender-affirming care to minors. It will have a dangerous impact on a group that is always at already highest risk for suicide and suicidal ideation. As Vermonters, we can be the example that is needed as we stand up and show up for each other, and together say, hands off our LGBTQ+ family. Thank you.